Are you starting to forget more than before? Not just a friend's name, but the way back to your own home. If you have ever wondered, is this how Alzheimer's begins? This is the urgent message you need to hear. Most people think memory loss happens suddenly. That is completely wrong. Alzheimer's is the quietest thief of all. It does not steal your memories overnight, it takes them slowly, piece by piece, beginning with small signs you keep dismissing. You blame age. You blame stress. But those tiny lapses are warning lights flashing from deep inside your brain. Ignore them, and one day you may face the unthinkable, becoming a stranger in your own home. In this video, I will reveal 10 SOS signals your brain is desperately sending you, plus practical solutions and how to fix them naturally. Signs that 90% of older adults overlook until it is too late. This is your chance to take back control before Alzheimer's takes control of you. Warning number 1 is considered the most important. The Alzheimer's Association reports that more than 6.7 million Americans over 65 are living with this disease right now. Yet new research from Johns Hopkins University offers hope. Early detection and lifestyle changes can improve quality of life by up to 70%. The key is acting early before damage becomes irreversible. So do not wait another second. Comment below and tell me what worries you most about your memory. Together, we will uncover the warning signs and the real ways to fight back against Alzheimer's starting today. Now let me show you the very first warning sign that appears years before most people even suspect Alzheimer's disease. Warning sign number 10. Memory loss that disrupts daily life. Let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. Have you ever walked into your kitchen and completely forgotten whether you already ate lunch that day? Not just misplaced your glasses or keys, but truly had no memory of it at all. This is not simple forgetfulness. This is something much deeper and far more dangerous. There is a major difference between ordinary forgetfulness and memory loss linked to Alzheimer's disease. Normal aging might make you forget a name or appointment, but you recall it later. Alzheimer's is different. You forget information you just learned minutes ago. You ask the same question over and over. You might even forget people or events that were part of your everyday life. According to the Mayo Clinic, 75% of people in the early stage of Alzheimer's experience this exact symptom. And research from the University of California found that repeating the same question within 30 minutes without realizing it is a strong red flag that requires immediate medical attention. I once treated Martha, a 68-year-old grandmother from Texas who loved cooking every Sunday. Within 1 month, she left her stove on 3 times, causing small kitchen fires. When asked, she had no memory of cooking those meals at all. Her brain had simply stopped forming new memories. This warning sign is dangerous because it disrupts daily life and safety. You might forget medication appointments or leave appliances running. To fight back, start simple. Keep a daily journal of 3 things you did. Try recalling 3 random words after 5 minutes. If you struggle, talk to your doctor. Early action and consistent habits can slow Alzheimer's before it takes control. Warning sign number 9. Challenges in planning or solving problems. Let me ask you something that might sound simple. Can you still balance your checkbook as easily as you did for the past 40 years? Can you follow your favorite recipe without losing your place halfway through? If those familiar tasks suddenly feel confusing or exhausting, your brain might be sending you an urgent message. One of the earliest signs of Alzheimer's is losing the ability to plan ahead or solve problems that once felt effortless. It shows up quietly in the kitchen, at the desk, or while paying bills. You might struggle to follow directions, miss steps in a recipe, or forget how to calculate a simple expense. Scientists at Rush University Medical Center found that 83% of Alzheimer's patients struggle with basic arithmetic in the early stages of the disease. And according to Harvard Medical School, financial mistakes are often the very first warning sign, appearing years before noticeable memory loss begins. Take Rajesh, a 71-year-old retired accountant from Mumbai. For decades, he managed corporate finances with precision. But within 6 months, his wife noticed troubling changes: bills paid twice, missed insurance payments, and unexplained withdrawals. When she asked him about it, Rajesh grew defensive, insisting everything was fine. This reaction is deeply human. Admitting you are losing control over one's simple tasks is painful, but recognizing it early gives you power. Here is how to start checking yourself today. Try this: begin at 100 and subtract 7 each time: 100, 93, 86, 79, and so on. If that feels unusually hard, take note. Review your bank statements weekly and ask a trusted family member to quietly double-check for errors. This is not about losing independence. It is about protecting it while you still can. Warning sign number 8: difficulty completing familiar tasks. This next warning sign may be the most frightening of all because it strikes at the very core of your daily life. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing you no longer remember how to make your morning coffee, the same cup you have brewed for 30 years. Or driving home from the grocery store you have visited every week for decades, only to find yourself lost. It may sound impossible, but for thousands of people, this is how Alzheimer's begins. Alzheimer's does not just take away your memories, it erases your ability to perform tasks that once felt automatic. You might forget how to button a shirt, turn on your television, or follow the steps of your favorite card game. The brain's autopilot system begins to break down, and what was once effortless becomes strangely unfamiliar. According to research from the Cleveland Clinic, 68% of Alzheimer's patients struggle with routine tasks they once performed easily. Even more striking, the National Institute on Aging found that this symptom can appear 2 to 3 years before an official diagnosis. That means there is a precious window of time to act if you recognize the signs early. Here is how to check yourself starting today. Pay close attention to your routine. If simple tasks like dressing, cooking, or driving feel confusing, write it down in a notebook. Create a checklist for daily activities and place it where you can see it on the fridge or beside your bed. If you find yourself needing that list for things that once came naturally, it matters. Ask a trusted friend or family member to gently observe and tell you if they notice changes. Early awareness is not surrender, it is the first step to taking back control. Before we move on, if this video is helping you understand Alzheimer's better, please like and subscribe so more seniors can find it. Share your story in the comments. Your experience might guide another family. Stay with me, because the next warning signs could truly save a life. Warning sign number 7: confusion with time or place. Have you ever stepped outside your home and suddenly realized you had no idea where you were, even though you have lived in that neighborhood for 20 years? This terrifying moment is one of the clearest warning signs of early Alzheimer's disease. Losing track of time or place is more than simple forgetfulness. You might wake up and have no sense of what day or month it is. You might be sitting in your own living room and feel unsure how you got there. Some people drive to familiar stores or friends' houses and suddenly cannot remember how to get back home. Researchers at Johns Hopkins University found that 91% of Alzheimer's patients experience time and place confusion during the early stages. The University of Pennsylvania reported that getting lost while driving has become the #1 reason seniors are brought to emergency rooms across the United States. This symptom is frightening, but it can be managed with awareness and preparation. Here is what you can do starting today. Always carry a small card in your wallet listing your name, home address, phone number, and 2 emergency contacts. Whenever you drive, even on familiar routes, turn on your GPS navigation. It can guide you home if confusion strikes unexpectedly. Finally, consider wearing a medical alert bracelet or GPS tracking device designed for seniors. There is no shame in taking these steps. Protecting yourself today means preserving your independence tomorrow. Early action saves lives and helps you stay safe, oriented, and in control. Warning sign number 6, trouble. Understanding visual images and spatial relationships. What would you do if one morning you looked in the mirror and didn't recognize your own face? It sounds like a scene from a horror movie, but for many in the early stages of Alzheimer's, this nightmare becomes reality. This warning sign has nothing to do with needing new glasses. Your eyes may see clearly, but your brain can no longer process what you see. You might struggle to read even when the print is large and clear. Estimating distance becomes nearly impossible. Pouring coffee into a cup suddenly feels risky because you cannot tell how far the cup really is. Colors start blending together as your brain loses the ability to separate shades and contrast. According to the Mayo Clinic, about 45% of Alzheimer's patients experience visual and spatial difficulties early in the disease. Researchers at UC San Diego found that seniors with these issues are 3 times more likely to cause serious car accidents compared to those without such symptoms. Last year, I met Priya, a 66-year-old retired teacher from Delhi. One morning, her daughter found her crying in front of the mirror. Priya was staring at her reflection, but swore that the woman in the mirror was a stranger who had broken into their home. Her eyesight was perfect. Her brain simply could not recognize her own face. To protect yourself, schedule a comprehensive eye exam to rule out treatable conditions. Try this at-home test. Place 3 colored objects 2 feet away and estimate each distance. If you struggle, note it and talk to your doctor. And most importantly, if driving feels confusing or distances seem distorted, consider stopping before an accident stops you. Warning sign number 5. New problems with words, in speaking or writing. Can you imagine having a word right on the tip of your tongue, but no matter how hard you try it, just won't come out? Now imagine that happening dozens of times a day with the simplest words you have used your entire life. Language difficulties are one of the most frustrating and isolating early signs of Alzheimer's disease. You might stop mid-sentence because the word you need has simply vanished. You may call common objects by the wrong names, like calling a fork a spoon or referring to your car as "that thing I drive." You might even repeat the same story to the same person, completely unaware you've told it before. A study from Northwestern University found that 88% of Alzheimer's patients develop language problems within the first 3 years of the disease. Researchers at Columbia University discovered that word-finding difficulties can appear up to 5 years before noticeable memory loss. In other words, trouble with language might be your brain's earliest warning cry. To monitor your own speech, start with simple daily habits. Play word games like crosswords or Scrabble to challenge your vocabulary. Read a short article aloud each day, then summarize it in your own words to a friend or family member. If you struggle to retell simple ideas, take note. You can also record a casual conversation once a month and listen back for pauses, vague words, or repetition. If these patterns increase, discuss them with your doctor early, because catching language decline now can protect your memory later. Warning sign number 4: misplacing things and losing the ability to retrace steps. Have you ever spent an entire afternoon searching for your car keys only to find them later in the refrigerator next to the milk? If that sounds familiar, it is time to pay close attention. Everyone misplaces things occasionally, but Alzheimer's disease takes it to another level. People begin placing objects in completely illogical spots, reading glasses in the microwave, wallets in the bathroom cabinet, or house keys in the laundry basket. What makes this a serious warning sign is not just losing items, but losing the ability to remember where you placed them or retrace your steps to find them. Researchers at Stanford University discovered that 72% of Alzheimer's patients show this unusual pattern of misplacing belongings early in the disease. Even more concerning, the US National Institutes of Health found that when individuals begin accusing family members or caregivers of stealing their lost items, it often signals that the disease is progressing to a more advanced stage. Here's what you can do right now. Choose one specific place for your essentials: keys, wallet, phone, glasses, and train yourself to always put them there. Use small Bluetooth trackers that beep when you press a button on your phone. And if you ever catch yourself accusing someone unfairly, pause, take a breath, and remind yourself it's your memory, not their honesty, that needs protection. Warning sign number 3: poor or declining judgment. Would you ever hand $50,000 in cash to a total stranger who calls claiming to be a government official? Most people would immediately say, no, yet thousands of older adults in the early stages of Alzheimer's do exactly that every year. Poor judgment and risky decision-making are among the most financially devastating early signs of Alzheimer's. You may begin making choices that seem completely out of character, giving away savings, falling for scams, or neglecting personal hygiene after a lifetime of being careful and disciplined. Scammers often target seniors with subtle confusion in their voices, knowing that hesitation can reveal vulnerability. Researchers at the University of Southern California found that older adults showing early Alzheimer's symptoms lose an average of $17,000 per year to scams and fraud. A study from Yale University discovered that 94% of Alzheimer's patients make serious financial mistakes during the initial phase of the disease. One heartbreaking case involved James, a 72-year-old retired accountant from Arizona. After receiving a fake call from someone posing as an IRS agent, he withdrew $50,000 in cash and followed the scammer's instructions to avoid arrest. When his wife returned home, she found him sitting silently at the kitchen table, believing he had done the right thing. It was a devastating moment of clarity. His once sharp judgment was fading. To protect yourself or a loved one, take action now. Add a trusted family member as a joint monitor on your bank account. Never make financial decisions from unsolicited calls, emails, or doorstep visitors. Legitimate agencies never demand instant payments or threaten arrest. And create a clear rule. Discuss any transaction over $500 with at least 2 family members before proceeding. This simple safeguard can protect your finances and your dignity. Warning sign number 2: withdrawal from work or social activities. When was the last time you picked up the phone just to talk to a friend or accepted an invitation to a family gathering? If you have started avoiding social contact and spending more time alone, it might not be just aging. It could be your brain signaling something serious. Withdrawal from social life is one of the most painful early warning signs of Alzheimer's disease. It forms a dangerous cycle. Conversations become harder to follow. Hobbies feel confusing or meaningless, and you begin to lose confidence in interacting with others. Slowly, isolation replaces connection and mental decline accelerates. Researchers at the Harvard School of Public Health found that social isolation increases the risk of developing Alzheimer's by up to 50%. Scientists at the University of Michigan discovered that regular social interaction can slow cognitive decline by as much as 70%, even when early symptoms have already appeared. These findings prove that staying connected isn't optional, it's vital protection for your brain. So what can you do right now? First, join a local senior or community center that meets weekly for group activities. Schedule them so you're less likely to cancel. Second, set up regular video calls with your children or grandchildren. Seeing familiar faces keeps emotional and cognitive circuits active. Third, volunteer a few hours a week at a library, hospital, or food bank. Helping others gives your mind purpose, structure, and joy. Isolation speeds up decline, but connection can slow it down. Choose connection today. Warning sign number 1: changes in mood and personality. The most important warning sign. We've finally reached the number 1 warning sign, and what I'm about to tell you may change everything you thought you knew about Alzheimer's. What if the earliest sign of this disease has nothing to do with forgetting names or losing keys, but begins with sudden shifts in mood and behavior? Abrupt changes in mood and personality are the strongest early predictors of Alzheimer's, often appearing 5 to 10 years before any memory problems become visible. You might suddenly feel suspicious of people you've trusted your whole life. Depression or anxiety may take over your thoughts for the first time ever. Small annoyances you used to ignore can now trigger anger or even rage. The calm, patient version of you begins to disappear, replaced by someone your loved ones barely recognize. Groundbreaking research from the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health confirmed that mood and personality shifts often precede memory loss by nearly a decade. The Massachusetts General Hospital found that 96% of Alzheimer's patients show major personality changes in the early phase. Even more striking, scientists at the University of Kyoto discovered through advanced brain imaging that the emotional centers of the brain start deteriorating long before memory centers do. Last year, I met Robert, a 65-year-old high school principal from Boston. Within 6 months, his gentle, patient nature gave way to anger and suspicion. He accused his wife of hiding his things, yelled at his children for being late, and became convinced his neighbors were spying on him. His family barely recognized the man they loved. These changes are dangerous precisely because the person experiencing them rarely realizes anything is wrong. They genuinely believe their anger or suspicion is justified. That's why family awareness is critical. Here's what to do right now. Keep a daily mood journal and record simple words: calm, sad, anxious, angry, confused. If you notice negative patterns increasing, share that record with your doctor. Schedule an appointment with a mental health or neurological specialist this week, not later. And if you're a family member witnessing severe agitation, paranoia, or self-harm talk, do not leave them alone. Seek professional help immediately. Mood changes are not just aging. They may be your brain's first cry for help, and catching them early could save years of independence. We've reached the end of today's video, but your journey to protect your brain health is just beginning. Have you or someone you love noticed any of these 10 warning signs? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience might help another family recognize the same patterns. If this video brought you clarity or comfort, please hit that like button so more people can find it. Subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to receive future health updates designed especially for seniors like you. And don't forget to share this video with your loved ones, your friends, and your community. Remember, you are not alone in this. Millions of families are walking this same road. By staying informed and taking early action, you give yourself and your loved ones the best chance for a brighter, healthier future. Stay safe, stay hopeful, and I'll see you in the next video.